Everyone. So, on this channel, as you know, we teach you how to become a highly paid freelance writer in the B2B space. Now, almost any B2B niche is fine, and if you already have some expertise in a particular niche, perhaps you've worked in one, then that's great. You go for that. But if you're stuck and you're delaying getting started because you don't know what niche to pick, perhaps you're just not familiar at all with the B2B space, then this video is for you. And I'm telling you right now, pick B2B SaaS. It's not the only option, of course, but it is the easiest starting point. Now, why B2B SaaS? Well, it's very easy to understand. SaaS, by the way, stands for software as a service. It is when a company creates particular kind of software and then sells it to other companies. That's it. You don't have to be familiar with the particular software at first, but you can learn about it. You can watch YouTube tutorials which shows you exactly how that software works. You can read reviews on G2, on Capterra to understand the pros and cons. And the thing is, you don't even need to use the software, by the way, just to be clear, but you want to understand the product that you'll be writing about. So it's good to understand how it works. Something I did when I was trying to understand CRM was I signed up for a free trial on HubSpot and I tried to use their CRM even though I was not even a company. I just tried to upload Google Sheets on it and see how they handle the data, just to get a hands-on feeling of the software. Very important, because when you will be writing content, you'll be writing for the customers of the B2B company you write for. So the people who buy that software. So it's good to understand how they view the software, potential problems they might have. That's where the reviews get into it, or things that they like. All of these things become gold mine for you to take from and power your writing. So you really sound like you are in the industry. Another good reason is that B2B SaaS is a growing market. There are more and more companies, which means that there is more and more demand for content writing. And there's a lot of competition, which means that companies fight for attention, so they need writers. You will get in not only as a content writer, but as a content strategist. You'll have to write content that sets that particular company apart, which is a great challenge to do. And if you're a decent writer and you have good industry expertise, it should not be a problem. You might actually enjoy doing that, and they will be guiding you anyway. So B2B SaaS is absolutely great. Now, of course, B2B SaaS is not a niche. Well, it's a broad niche within the B2B space, but within B2B SaaS, you've got to pick a sub niche because you cannot learn about all the softwares that exist. It doesn't make sense. So you pick a sub niche, and within each sub niche, you will have thousands of companies. So do not worry about running out of companies. That's a fear I had, and it is completely redundant. Every single day, or at least every single week, there are new companies getting in, seeking funding, trying to sell some kind of software. So do not worry. But if you need a few sub niches, here we go. So we have CRM. That's the one I picked. Customer Relationship Management. It's a kind of software that helps companies organize their customers in a very systematized way, and also organize their leads. For example, who they've called, who's responded, who they have to follow up with. Whenever they have some kind of complaint from a customer, they can quickly check the history of that customer and they can meet the customer where they're at. So it's a very important tool and very useful for most companies. So I targeted B2B SaaS companies which sold CRM to other companies. But you also have others like project management softwares. And in bracket, I have a few of the big companies, let's say the giant ones, selling these softwares. Generally, it might be harder to land these as beginner in freelancing. However, you're welcome to try, or at least if you get a blog post, a guest blog post in one of these big companies, then you could be set because you could lead with that when sending cold emails or when doing any form of outreach, and you would be absolutely set when reaching out to smaller companies. So, product management, we have HR softwares. I'm not really familiar with those. Marketing automation, analytics software, collaboration tools. You've probably heard of Slack. I've used it. It's quite good. You have fintech, accounting software, security, sales engagement. I've used a few of these actually. Slack and even Asana. I've used Asana in Active Campaign. I used to work as an email copywriter, so they would use Active Campaign to schedule their emails. So, how to pick a sub niche? Oh, should have bolded that, but it's okay. So, you pick a tool you already use or find interesting. Again, that's not even important. I maybe should not have written that, but you do not have to be familiar with the tool, but you can get familiar with the tool. So, a lot of people hesitate to get into B2B writing because they are so unfamiliar with whatever the B2B company is selling, including software. I get it. For example, a CRM software, you have no use of a CRM software as an individual, so obviously you won't know about it, but do not worry, it's not that difficult to understand about it. You can use AI, you can use YouTube. Just go for it. If you use nothing, like me, then pick CRM. Again, very easy, plenty of material to learn. You go on YouTube, you find a few tutorials. I would add go on ChatGPT and talk to ChatGPT about it. Explain to ChatGPT what you understand and what you don't understand and let it fill the gaps. Read reviews. What do companies love about it? That alone can give you an understanding of the product. And that's it. That becomes your content gold mine. You do not need to have any technical detail about the product. You don't actually need to do that. That's one of the things stopping most writers again. You just need to understand from a marketing perspective what the audience likes and doesn't like about the product, their pain points. That's the area you want to explore, and this is why reviews and tutorials are great. What to write for SaaS companies? Well, I've written blog posts, email sequences for them. I've also written one case study. I'm not a fan of writing case study, but there is demand for it. LinkedIn post, a few of my students have landed SaaS companies who needed help with LinkedIn posts. I haven't personally done that. And landing pages. Yes, this is not recurring work as such, but sometimes they might need an update on their website. So you could just rewrite the landing page. So there you go. If you do not know what niche to pick, go for SaaS companies right now. And if you do not know which sub niche to pick, then go for CRM. No problem. And you will see that within just one day, a couple hours, you can gain enough knowledge and then you can build your list and start outreaching. By the way, if you want to outreach, check out my video on the cold email, which landed me my first client, and you'll get the components that make a great cold email. Thanks for watching and hit subscribe and stay in touch for the next video. Thank you.